Bottom line is, your work will speak for itself, and just focus on what you're earning and being present that day. And I just think that's what led us to getting the seed that we have, and is our focus on our process. And so really proud of the opportunity. That being said, it is just that. It's an opportunity. It gives us a great chance to have great matchups and to have great success if we walk through that door of opportunity. So our only focus will be being 1-0 and taking advantage of playing our best basketball and going from there. Yeah, Mike, or who do you have?
Haley first, and then we'll go to Mike.
Okay.
I saw a clip of us reacting. I think Janiyah had a really, really good one, and Gabs also had a good one. Jumped off the screen, for sure.
You agree?
Yeah, I would say Janiyah had the best reaction. She had no reaction. She just stood there and looked at the camera. Yeah.
All three of you are familiar with the NCAA tournament, but what does it mean to have the number one overall seed?
You guys?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's like I said, a testament to how hard everyone in this program has worked, and but then again, it's an opportunity to number next to our name still, and number one overall seed doesn't get us to the Final Four, doesn't get us to a national championship game, so we got to go out there and earn it, but it definitely positions us well, so we're glad that we've earned that.
I think it's just extra motivation for our entire team. Obviously, now we have a picture of what our schedule is going to look like, so I think for all of us, extra motivation, and I know we're going to be well prepared going into every single game.
Cori, I wonder at what point in this year did you look at this team and think that this could be a possibility? There have been a lot of historic moments in this year, and then this is the latest one.
I think I knew at the beginning that we had a chance, that we had an opportunity. But we're really big on you don't outperform your self-image. And I think about how far they've come from I remember the night before our game against Louisville in Paris, there was actually some intrepidation, like, wow, we're not as confident as we think we should be. There's actually some self-doubt. And I think about how much confidence they have earned since that point. And I knew we had the talent, but we always say that talent is the floor. It was most rewarding to watch how their character grew. And as their character grew, which is who you really are, your choices, your behaviors, your habits, that's when their confidence grew. And then as they embraced the hard and conquered hard things, it grew even more. So I think I always knew we had the pieces, but how are we going to come together to have our whole be greater than the sum total of our individual talent pieces? That's the part that needed to evolve over time.
Kiki and Lauren, for you guys, I mean, you've had a number, the past week alone, history-making moments for this team. Talk to us about your overall just feeling and being able to be a part of this program and where women's sports is taking off.
Yeah, it's been a super exciting time to be a part of this team and part of this program. Obviously, winning first Big Ten championship in a while, and I'm just so proud of everyone. I think also just I'd like to speak to just the growth in the game. I think how much attention everyone has been giving women's basketball, the tournament, the conference tournaments, all that, the incredible product that we've all been putting out there. I think it really it means a lot for us players and everyone watching, and then also for everyone who's came before us and really has paved this path. So it's really a great time to be playing.
Yeah, I'm just super thankful to be on this team. I mean, the amount of work that's gone into this season. Obviously, we've suffered a couple losses that hurt us pretty badly, but I think we've just learned so much, and I think that talks a lot about the character of this team, and we just have a selfless group of players, and I think moving forward, we're going to continue to just have that same mentality, and that, obviously, a Big Ten championship was just fun, but it wasn't enough for us, and we want more, so I think that we're going to, work our butts off, and I think the coaches are going to continue to, hold that standard for us every single day, but obviously, job's not done. So,
question for the players: What a whirlwind 2.5 weeks has been. My goodness. Can you two quantify the growth that you've experienced over the last 2 weeks and the level? Coach Cori's talked about the confidence growing, like the growth, what lessons you've learned, and how you've changed over the last 2 weeks, and all the things that have happened, and how you're going to take that forward into arguably the biggest NCAA tournament this program's ever seen.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's very clear there's been a ton of growth from everyone on this team, and I think as a collective unit, we've gotten a lot tougher and been able to have those hard conversations. And I think our leadership has grown, and we've become a player-led team and not just a team led by our coaches. And I think that's a step that we need to take entering into postseason in order for us to be, the most successful and achieve our goals. So I'm really proud of this group for that.
Yeah, I would agree. I think everyone's just stepped up in their roles, and obviously, like, everyone's taken a lot of accountability for what they need to do better. And I just think that we're going to continue to do that moving forward. But yeah, like Kiki said, I think that we've grown in our toughness, and that was the biggest contribute to our win as well against SC. So,
Could all three of you talk about the fact that this was a season of change? You went from playing in the Pac-12 last season, playing in the Big Ten this season. It's been a big change. There's been a lot of travel. What is the one moment that's really stood out for each of you looking back on the season to this point?
Go ahead, you guys go first.
I think a time that I really realized that we were in a different conference was when we went down and we played at Indiana. Our game was at like 12 Eastern, which was 9 a.m., this California time, and we traveled there the night before, but I think that was just like a big wake-up call to the change in conference and how, now how we're going to have to operate being in the Big Ten.
I would say, honestly, our first trip when we missed like about a whole week of school, and I think that was like obviously just like a really big, weird transition for us because we had to kind of, that's kind of how it was going to be for the rest of the season, so we kind of had to adjust, and obviously there was a lot of communication when we all kind of had to individually like step up and mature a little bit in that and like having to ask for help because obviously it was really hard. So I think that was like my first little wake up call of like, oh my gosh, okay, so we're going to have to kind of get the school situation together as well. So.
I think new opponents, I think the scouting has really changed, and we had to really dig deeper. I really credit our staff for how much time that needed to go into making sure that we were prepared game by game. The travel, which they've already talked about, thankful to the administration that they've helped us travel in a way that I thought minimized how we missed classes, but also the wear and tear on our bodies. And so really, even in the midst of it being really, really difficult, I was thankful for the way in which we were able to do it. And I think the third really big change is just the change in the landscape with NIL and rev share and those kinds of things. All of that happening in 1 year was a lot and has been a lot. But I think just like in business or life, it's how you face those things, your willingness to change and pivot into the landscapes that I'm called to lead us to be successful. And so, was it easy? No. Has it created a lot of hard work and adjustments? Yes. But I'm really thankful to be in the position that we're in because I think it all factored into us being in this position to play our best basketball in March and have the best path to do it.
Cori, you mentioned the scouting just now in the Big Ten, scouting all these new opponents in a really short amount of time. Having to do that throughout the regular season, how much more prepared do you feel going into the tournament where you're going to have to do that same thing?
Right. I think I am so fortunate to work with such elite coaches and video team that's remarkable. But just for context, when we were in the Pac-12, the video team would prepare probably 6 to 8 games. And then the coach that was in charge of that game would break it down from there. But I would say this year we were in the 8 to 12 range of games, and then having to break it down possession by possession because we needed more context. We needed to see tendencies out of timeouts, what their on-off stats were, certain lineups, styles of play, what they went to in their closest. I mean, there was just so much more we had to gather to put us in our best situations. And so, and honestly, that sacrifice came from my staff more than it did for me. And so just really thankful for a group that's willing to attack that. And they have so much responsibility to our players. They want them to have the confidence that they are so prepared and that we have watched so much. And, I think that we take that really, really seriously. But now we're reaping the fruit of that labor is that I think we are really confident going into the NCAA tournament that we can turn around new teams really, really quickly, and we can understand a varied amount of styles of play because of what we faced in the Big Ten.
Lauren, speaking to what Coach Cori was talking about in terms of building confidence, how has this season helped your own confidence as you've continue to kind of transition now to being at UCLA after starting your career at Stanford?
Yeah, I think my confidence has been, it's kind of been, I mean, I think it's been all over the place this season, but I will say I think I finished out the season probably feeling like the best I've ever had in my basketball career. I mean, I'm surrounded by great people, amazing teammates, amazing coaches, and they always put me in the best position so that I feel my best going into every single game. And I'm very grateful to be in this program because they've helped me so much. And yeah, I mean, I think it's just the work that I've putting in this season. I think I've just gone into the season different, and I think that I just wanted to be in the gym more. I wanted to be a part of this a lot more just because of the mental space I was in. So again, I have to thank all the people that I'm surrounded by every single day because I don't think I'd be in this position without them.
Anybody else? I just want to, these guys, as much as it's an honor for them to be sort of the faces of our program, it is difficult sometimes. And I want to publicly say to both of you, you have represented, they joke because one of our rules is respect and represent, but you have epitomized in the classroom, in the community, how you treat the little kids, how you interact with the media, your performance under pressure, your willingness to have a growth mindset. I just want you to know that as much as it's an honor for you to sit in these chairs, it's also a great responsibility, and you have handled it with great dignity and great class, and we appreciate you.
Thanks, everybody.
All right. Thank you all very much.